Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear learners. I welcome you to English Grade 9 video lessons. I'm your instructor Zia Hamid. How are you? I hope that you're doing well and having good time. So today, as you know, we are dealing with unit number 2, a visionary leader, and the competency we're dealing with today is vocabulary. This will be about idioms, and it's our lecture number 3. So my dear learners, let's get started by reading and understanding our students' learning outcome for this video lesson. We have at the SLO, comprehend and use contemporary idioms and proverbs in the different texts and their speech. So what do we understand by this? Let's break it down. Comprehend means understand, and also use contemporary means the current, or the contemporary actually means in Urdu hum asar. It means the contemporary idioms are idioms that are currently being used and we use them in our daily lives. And in this lecture we will only deal with idioms, and for proverbs we have lecture number 4 later, in the different texts and in their speech. After comprehending and understanding about idioms, we will use them, and we will also see, identify and use them in different texts and also in our speech, I mean oral as well. So this is our SLO. Let's get started. Here is a vertical linkage of this SLO with the previous grade 8. It's the same one. In this grade, we will understand it in more detail. So let's begin by understanding it through the name of Allah. So for Islamic perspective, today we have this Surah Taha, and it says, "O my Lord, open for me my chest, grant me self-confidence, contentment and boldness, and ease my task for me, and loose or untie the knot from my tongue, that they understand my speech." Subhanallah, this is such a beautiful dua also. I hope that you have also remembered it. So in this ayah, the translation, we can see some idiomatic expressions, some figurative language that does not literally means what it is as it is seen. So we consider them like a figurative language, a language full of figures and imagery, metaphors and so on. So with idioms we have open for me my chest. Doesn't literally mean that open the chest. It means that enlighten me, guide me. So enlighten me and guide me. And also we have this phrase, loose the knot from my tongue, because Hazrat Musa used to stutter, we know that. So he made this dua using this expression. So we can see that in Islam, in Arabic language, and ultimately in the Quran, we can see so many different examples of idiomatic expressions. So let's move on. For the pre-reading, we have an interesting question. So have you ever heard someone say, "It's raining cat and dogs"? Think about it. Does this make sense if you see it literally? No, it doesn't. Does it mean cats and dogs are falling from the sky? No, it means something else. This is a figurative language. It's an idiom. So why do we use idioms? When do we use them? And what are some common idioms we will see later on in this lesson? For your brainstorming, I just want you to brainstorm and recall the times when you used such figurative language, such expressions. Yes, we use them in our daily lives. So let's recall, come up with some idioms that you know. I hope that you know more than one. So now, my dear learners, let's see this idiom. Great minds think alike. What does it mean? It means clever people think the same, right? So we have a lot of different idioms coming up our way, and we have to figure them out, their meaning, and ultimately we will use them in our speech to make our speech more beautiful. So I was talking about figurative language. Let's understand what it is. So figurative language uses words in a non-literal way. In a non-literal way means it's not literally the same thing. To convey a deeper meaning or create a more vivid image, clear and vivid image, it goes beyond the plain meaning of the words themselves. There's something beyond the text. We have to read it. We have to understand it. So this is all about figurative language. Now, idioms are also part of this whole concept of figurative language. Let's get started by understanding the definition. An idiom is a group of words whose meaning differs from the individual words' meanings. So idioms can be found in a group. So there are a lot of different group of words whose meaning differs from the individual meanings. So if you say have an idiom written in front of you, you have to understand them. You can't understand them individually, but rather with a context. And so it comes from the figurative understanding of the entire phrase. You have to have the figurative contextual understanding. So this example here, the cat out of the bag, is an idiom meaning to tell a secret by mistake. He let the cat out of the bag. So he told the secret by mistake. So what does give up mean here? You often hear this word, I give up. So what does give up mean? Why it's not, can you actually give something up? No, not literally the same thing. Giving up means admitting defeat. So such are idioms and their usage. We have seen definition example, and now the question is, why do we use idioms? Why is the need to use and memorize such such group of words, such sentences, phrases in our language? So a speaker or writer often uses idioms to convey a message to someone else in a more creative way. What do? We have to be creative so that we don't sound bored. Our speech should sound interesting and creative. So instead of saying you're correct several times, you might say you hit the nail on the head. Yes, absolutely, you hit the nail on the head. It means you're correct. So, or even the word bingo. If somebody's done the right thing and correctly, you say bingo, you got it. Now, understand, how do we understand idioms? If idioms were literal, it's raining cat and dogs would look like this, but we know that it's not true, it's not real. So you have to pay attention to the context in which idioms are used. Look up unfamiliar idioms in a dictionary or online, and you can see and find so many different idioms for every kind of situation. So don't take the literal meaning of the words seriously. Always have to see the context, right? So now, some common idioms in the English language along with their meaning and sentence. Let me read the first one for you. Under the weather. You must have heard this before. It means not feeling well. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today. This is how you use. I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, so I might call in sick to work. So this is how you use this one. Read these the rest of the idioms and try to use them in your own sentences. Now we have some common English idioms with illustrations. See, why are you not speaking? Cat got your tongue? It means, can't you speak? Why did you stop speaking? Snug as a bug in a rug. Go the extra mile. Butterflies in the stomach. To go down in flames. Once in a blue moon. All these idioms are some of the most common idioms, and you must have learned them before, but after this lesson, I hope, my dear learners, that you will be able to use them in your daily life to actually achieve the goal of understanding and learning idioms. Now, we have an interesting quiz for you. So, you are what you eat. We have this phrase, this idiom, you are what you eat. What do you comprehend? What does it actually mean? Pause the video, think about it, go through the options given here, and give the right answer. So, does it mean your diet affects your health, or food is everything, you become like your food, only eat delicious food? Which one makes more sense? Yes, this one. Your diet affects your health. So now we have an idiomatic conversation in front of you. You can, after pausing the video, we have two students, Maya and Ben. They are walking home from school. So this is their conversation, and you will know that how smoothly you can use idioms in your conversation. So we have an interesting activity for you. You have to put on your hunting gear and hunt for idioms, right? So this passage, after reading that, point out all the idioms that you can see. So now, for example, this one. His brain felt like mush. Idiomatic expression. Find others by yourself. Now we have some idioms from around the world. Every language, every culture has some idioms that they use. So let's see. This one is from Arabic. One hand doesn't clap. So if you try to understand it individually, it's just saying that one hand doesn't clap. Okay, that makes sense. But what does it actually mean? It means teamwork or cooperation is necessary for the success. So it kind of has a relation with the meaning also, but most of the idioms are more complicated to understand. Now we have one from Spain. It rained in pitchers. It means it rained heavily. The rain poured heavily. So this one, and then we have from our Urdu, Hathi ke dant khane ke aur dikhane ke aur. What does it mean? Elephant has two sets of teeth, one to show off and the other to chew with it. So does it actually mean as it's sounding? No. It means what you see is not necessarily true. If you're seeing something, that must not be true. You have to strive for it. You have to strive to find the truth. So these are some idioms from around the culture. Now we have an interesting simulation video for you about understanding idioms and using them effectively. I hope that you enjoy watching the simulation video. For your classroom activity, you can find it on page 17. It says, identify the contemporary idioms used in the sentences. So this activity, and then, my dear fellow teachers, we have a worksheet to distribute among the class. So it is also attached in the description of the video. So we also have a homework for you. After thoroughly understanding what the idioms are and why they are used, let's act the scene with your fellows or siblings using these common idioms. Include most of these idioms in your dialogue and keep in view the context. That is the most important part. These are some common idioms given. Try to come up with dialogues or enact a scene where you can use them in your conversation smoothly. This will be your homework, and last but not the least, we are at the end. We have some resources like worksheet, a question bank, skill sheet, presentation, and finally a lesson plan. All these are attached and all they are available. Now at the end. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that you will enjoy this lesson and also try to use them in your conversation. The next instructor is Hamid.